Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I've got some exciting news for you today. We got some updates to that Something is Growing website. I was not sure if they were going to do daily updates or not, but it seems like so far they have. And that seems like it's going to be the trend going into the release of the roadmap and the announcement of the pack later this month. I am so excited. Let's talk about this website. So, if you remember from last time, we had this Get Lost in Innisgreen. It's a quaint little town, three neighborhoods. There's a waterfront neighborhood where the gnomes reside. There is a grove that is like city civilization, people meets nature, and then there is a magical forest. I talked about this in the first video that I did about this. I'll link to it down below. I feel like the magical forest is where the fairies will predominantly live. And the nature meets civilization, I'm really hoping gives farmers market vibes. I'm really hoping that it's going in that direction. Having this stand here would maybe suggest that, but I'm not 100% sure. But I would love if it was farmers market style. Think Henford on Bagley, but like even more farmers market style, where your own Sims can also sell their stuff, and we get farmers market style stands. And then, of course, the waterfront town is where the little gnomes live. I am assuming, and I could be completely off base here, that the gnomes are going to be like the little sprites from Life and Death. The little ghosty sprites that fly around in that plaza area in the middle neighborhood. Yeah, I think it's going to be like that. So you can hear more of my thoughts in that video. Again, I'll link that down below. But we got two new pages, so let's check this out. Here's the first one, and it's a different time of day, perhaps, or there's a storm moving in or something. It's definitely mistier now. We've got a cute little gnome here. We do have a cute little basket of fruit here that looks like berries to me of some kind, and it looks like they were picked from that bush right there. And also, this has changed a bit, this fern plant here. So, you wake up under the stars and see other Sims meeting their needs outdoors without beds or plumbing. You're hungry, but you spot some delicious looking mushrooms by a tree. Looks like you'll sustain yourself just fine. So we're gonna get mushrooms of some kind again. I feel like we've gotten all the potential edible mushrooms that are possible in life. But maybe this is something different. Maybe a magical mushroom of some kind. Meeting your needs outdoors without beds or plumbing. Well, I guess technically, if you have outdoor retreat, there are tents and there are cots that you can put in your inventory and then place basically anywhere. But those are beds. Like, technically, the tent is also a bed. You're, like, supposed to imagine that there's a bed in there for you to sleep on. You're not just sleeping outdoors on the ground. I feel like this literally means you're going to be sleeping outdoors on the ground. Maybe a special leaf pile or something of that nature. Or maybe your Sims can just lay down anywhere and go to sleep. And then the without plumbing thing, well, certain packs do come with the pee bushes that you can pee in. But there's also the fact that some Sims can shower in the rain. I will be honest with you, I don't remember where that came from. I want to say it came from Eco Lifestyle, but it could have been a base game update. I don't remember. It's been in there for so long now, and it seems random. I don't know if I just don't use that feature enough to know how it works, but it seems random which Sims will do it and which ones won't. I'm not 100% sure what without plumbing could mean. I mean, we are getting that outhouse. So it could be something along those lines, a different type of outhouse, perhaps, or just another pee bush. And the option is opened up for more Sims of a different kind to shower in the rain outside, or maybe, I mean, they said that there's a waterfront town. Maybe there's a waterfall. Maybe your Sims will be able to shower in a waterfall situation, perhaps, or maybe bathe in a lake or a river or a pond of some kind. I can see that potentially being a possibility. Uh, do I mind that they are potentially, because we don't really know anything yet, potentially bringing back features that are already there? No, I don't. Number one, I don't think they're going to give us tents. So the without beds things, I really truly feel like is without beds, like sleeping directly on the ground in some way, shape, or form. And the fulfilling other needs without plumbing, I mean, sure, we've gotten that a few other times with the potty bushes. So I don't see it as a big deal revisiting it again and including it again in this pack. Because it's almost just like a staple of packs now, you know what I mean, at this point? So I'm fine with it. It's just like that little extra something that they include in the pack. And in this case, it makes it even more on theme for this stuff, right? So you're hungry and you spot some delicious mushrooms. Now, I've seen some people mention foraging, and I've seen people debating whether we technically have foraging in the game or not. And I guess from my perspective, do we already have foraging in the game? Yes. Actually, we've had it since the base game. All those wild plants all over the world that you can harvest from, I mean, that's basically foraging. So you could have said way back when they included the mushrooms in Outdoor Retreat that they were just revisiting something that was in the base game but giving us a few different plants. You know what I mean? Could it be an expansion on herbalism or introducing herbalism again? That is where things get a little bit sticky. It's one of those situations where if they do it right, it's fine if we have two separate herbalism systems running concurrently. But if they do it wrong, it could be really annoying. Especially if your sim, like you want to play out a storyline where your sim is very natural, into nature, into growing all their own stuff and having an apothecary and everything, to have to learn two separate herbalism skills would be really weird and annoying from my perspective. But I felt that way when we found out that they were going to include retail in the businesses and hobbies pack. And at first, I was really upset thinking that we were going to have two separate retail systems running concurrently that didn't make any sense. And it should have been an either or. But once we really got into the pack and played it and learned all about it, they're not really the identical system running from two different packs concurrently. They really are two very different options available for having a retail shop in the game. And so I think that makes it okay. In fact, I think it makes it good, kind of, you know? So if they do that with herbalism or something of that nature, I think it could be fine. I really do. But that's just my opinion. I hope that they don't give us just new mushrooms, because I feel like we have a lot of mushrooms in the game already. There can't be that many more to add, right? And then we have this one, and the fern has grown more. We've got little mushrooms sprouting out everywhere. The poor little plant is in a pot now rather than in the ground, although that makes me think. But anyways, we've got a spilled bottle of what looks to be either water or some kind of enchanted potion. I can't really tell. And then the gnome is staring us down. He's definitely staring us down. Hello, sir. But anyways, the plant got pulled up out of the ground and put in a pot. Does that mean there will be some plants that we can harvest from around the world? I mean, technically, we kind of have that already with the flowers and the growable foods and things, and that's kind of already been there since the base game. Maybe they'll give us some new pot variations, though. That would really be nice, actually. And also, it would be nice if some of the plants that we could grow are decorative and not just food or flowers to harvest and sell or eat. If I'm being really greedy, I would like them to change the shapes a little bit. All the harvestable plants are starting to look the same except the mushrooms and the ones that came with cottage living. All the rest of them kind of have this weird sameness about them. So it'd be nice to have a few different plants that look different. But this suggests a purely decorative plant that was ripped up out of the ground and put into a pot. So get lost in 3 new traits. 3 new traits will play a role in how Sims relate to their world. You befriend fellow plant lovers, have enlightening encounters with mystical Sims, and even have run ins with disruptive Sims. Oh no, now everything's out of balance. Okay, I haven't the first clue. I mean, mystical Sims, fairies, disruptive Sims, gnomes, plant lovers. Are they going to reintroduce the plant sim and like update it and all that kind of stuff and make it a bigger feature in the game? Who knows? This is very mystical, gardening heavy, obviously. But yeah, I don't think this gives us too much more. And these are specifically talking about traits. So maybe it's not like, maybe the trait really is plant lover. Okay, they're capitalized. I see it now. They're capitalized. So those are literally the traits. Plant lovers, mystical Sims, and disruptive Sims. Okay, that's weird. Because now that makes me think, well, we know we're getting gnomes in some way, shape, or form. And the way the other one reads, the gnomes are going to be interactive. They're going to like move around and stuff. They really do give me the little ghosty sprite vibes from Ravenwood Life and Death pack. Uh, and I mean, plant lovers, good. I like that. You would think that would have come with eco lifestyle or cottage living, but actually we haven't. We got Green Thumb, a sim who's really good at growing plants, but that's growable plants, and it doesn't really have anything to do with other plants around the world or anything. Like, they don't love having trees in their yard or whatever, so maybe this will be a trait that causes the Sims to like having lots of trees on their lots, or having a very landscaped, full of flowers and stuff, yard, that type of thing. When they call them mystical Sims, though, that's weird because we already have spellcasters. And thanks to the leak, we know we're getting fairies. So why would Sims have a mystical sim trait? That's weird to me. I don't know. But the disruptive Sims, I mean, we already have that, don't we? We have mischievous and stuff. So I'm a little confused by those two. Unless mystical sim is specific to fairies and disruptive sims are specific to gnomes and we're getting two types of sims. I feel like that would be weird though. And if we got two types of like gnomes and fairies, would they really be well thought out or would they end up like mermaids and aliens? I don't know. I cannot wait for the trailer so we can get some of these questions answered. The last thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is the picture. Now, or I should say pictures. Oh, yeah, I just realized this one is also a different time of day. Maybe sunrise potentially, which is a little out of order. Like this would be daytime, midday or so. Possibly not midday, possibly late afternoon. Kind of feels more like late afternoon, and then maybe evening, and now sunrise or sunset, potentially sunset. So maybe not. I don't know. It's weird, but as for the pictures themselves, people were saying it looks AI generated. I'm not good at spotting AI, but I don't see it being AI generated necessarily. To me, and I've seen a few other people mention this as well, to me, it looks like a diorama, like a handcrafted scene, like something a kid would do for school or something, you know what I mean? Rather than AI generated. But I can't be sure because I'm not good at picking out AI generated images, and it's definitely not screenshots from in the game. I'm a little torn whether I would have preferred screenshots directly from the game or whether I like it this way better. And I do wonder why they chose to do it this way. Maybe screenshots from the game would have given away too much. Maybe some of this stuff is not actually in the game and it's just like a sort of representation of stuff that's in the game. Like, I can envision this house back here potentially not being in the game in any way, shape, or form. And it's just sort of signifying a house in the background in the game or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to see if I really spot anything else that can be seen from this, but I really don't. So I guess those are my thoughts and feelings on this so far. I have the feeling that we will get at least two more images with information. If we do, I'll have that for you probably Wednesday, or if I decide to wait till Thursday, I'll do it Thursday morning, and then we'll go over the roadmap Thursday afternoon at the normal time. But we'll see, and we can definitely do some more speculating. As frustrating as it is, and as much as I want to know the answers, speculating is kind of fun. It can be a little disappointing too when you get your hopes up for something and then it doesn't come true, but mostly it's just fun to speculate at what all the different things mean and how everybody interprets things differently and stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited for more fun speculation. Anyways, on that note, I'm going to leave this video here. If you're enjoying my channel, if you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.